So now, uh, verse 3. And Abraham rose up early in the morning and saddled his ass. Now, divine timing. So the time is he rose him up early in the morning. And you see that God has some preparation going on here. Watch this. So Abraham begins to do what? He saddles his ass, right? And he took of his he took two of his young men with him, and Isaac his son, and clave the wood for the burnt offering, and rose up and went to the place of which God had told him. So now he's beginning to do what's necessary to make the journey, right? He got the wood, he got the ass, he got some helpers, the two lads, and he's got his son Isaac, right? So now let's see where we at. Verse 4. Then on the third day, so that means that they had been out there for 3 days. Come on. Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw the place afar off. So in other words, that leads me to believe that the place that God told Abraham to go to was about a 3 days journey. In other words, come on. In other words, it took some time to get there. A lot of us are always in a hurry. But see, if we wait on divine timing while we traveling to where God is calling us to go, God will show us where we at when we get there. Divine timing. Be patient, in other words. Glory be to God. Verse 5. And Abraham said unto his young men, abide ye here with the ass, and I and the lad will go yonder and worship, and come again to you. In other words, he tells the two lads, look here, just sit here and watch the animal. Me and the boys going to go a little bit further and worship God. In other words, still divine time. And in other words, he separated himself from some people when they got time to get closer to God. We got to separate ourselves from some people when it's time to get closer to God. Yeah, I know you go to church with him. In other words, Abraham knew these people that was with him, but when it was time to get closer to God, when it was time to seal the deal with God, he told them, hold on, I'll be back. Some folk, you got to say, hold on, I'm finna go into the secret place of the Most High God. Can I call you back later? You're on the phone, right? You're emailing somebody, y'all going back and forth emailing. Look here, I'm going to have to email you later. I need to pray. In other words, there's some times that you're going to have to cut yourself off from certain people and things so you can do what? Get closer to God, because it's divine timing. Watch this. Hallelujah. Verse 6. And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it upon Isaac his son. And he took the fire in his hand and a knife, and they went both of them together. Verse 7. And Isaac spake unto Abraham his father and said, my father. And he said, here am I, my son. And he said, behold the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for a burnt offering? So now that leads me to believe that Abraham had not told Isaac that he was going to be sacrificed. Isaac did not know that he was to be the sacrifice, because Isaac is now questioning, why don't we have the sacrifice? Where's the sacrifice? Watch this. Glory be to God. Verse 8. And Abraham said, my son, God will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering. So they went both of them together. Watch this. Abraham had faith, even though he knew a sacrifice, an animal sacrifice was required. He did not have a sacrifice, but that showed Abraham's faith right there. Sometimes we don't always have what we think we need, but guess what? Our faith says God will provide. That's what Abraham said. Stop worrying about how I'm going to pay my bills and how things are going to work out. If God told me